Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Hamna and I create content connected to art, healing and spirituality. Today the name I got guided to is one of my favorites, of course, because it speaks about creativity, and it's Ya Musawwir. And for me, it's always been this beautiful balancing of feminine and masculine energy that speaks through these names, of how we act and how we, when we don't act. In both those scenarios, there's always creation that is happening within us and around us. So sometimes we think, oh my God, we're not doing something, or something's not happening and I'm so stuck. Why am I not seeing any results? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Even in those moments, Allah is always Ya Musawwir. So He's always creating something which you aren't able to see, perceive, sometimes even feel. But that doesn't mean He has stopped creating. And with that thought, we're going to start with I'll read the text for you first. Al Musawwir is the one who continuously shapes the heart and continuously shapes all things. He is letting us know that He's the one who's constantly, there's never a moment where He stops on working on you. So you could be sleeping, you could be resting, but that doesn't mean He's not creating within you. Like, your cells are still alive, there's things that are happening, your body parts are still operating in the best possible way that Allah knows, alhamdulillah. When you're sleeping, when you're eating, all of this. So He's letting you know that there's not even a single moment you might rest, but I don't need the rest. Not that I don't want the rest, I just don't need it. It's not part of His being who needs to rest. And so He's constantly shaping our heart. And it's so beautiful that He wants us to focus on continuously shapes the heart and continuously shapes all things. So don't just think I'm working on that what is within you and what is in your world, but I'm working on everything that is part of the creation. So your neighbor who isn't good to you, or your daughter who is absolutely loving to you, towards you, either way, somebody who's not good, somebody who's good, it's all part of Allah's plan, the way they behave with you. And so He's working on everything. That person is also having something created within them, and you're also having something created within them, and the bird is also having something created, the eagle is also having, the ant is also, the tiny fragment of the grass is also changing. So nothing in the universe is not being worked on. So He is the creator, who is Al Musawwir, who is constantly and continuously shaping the things inside you, in your world, inside your homes, and in around on the planet. And not just on the planet that is visible, but also in the unseen part, in the air molecules, the raindrops that fall, the earth, like inside the within the earth, the gravitational pull, the space, the movement of the stars and the planets, everything. Like, He's constantly and continuously shaping all that is around us. So what it creates is not left for even a breath. He is watching everything. He is observing everything. So it's not like He's created and then He's forgotten about it. The process of creation is continuous and constant, and on top of that, it's never ever done. So the moment we say, oh, I am this person, right, we define ourselves by the profession we do or the role that we play. Like, I'm a mother who is a doctor. Like, these are labels that we put on. Like, imagine like jackets that we are wearing. So there's thousands of jackets that we in life, with different phases, we wear on ourselves. And Allah wants you to kind of think about that there's never a single moment He ever leaves you. So we could be something that we think we define ourselves by, but we really can't be that alone, because every moment we are changing and we are shifting and we're growing and we're evolving. So you can't be really defined by something that you are, because you are constantly being worked on by the Creator. Every single breath, like, there's not even a single moment that the process of creation is not having going on within you. So a moment something feels stagnant, you have to ask yourself, why do I feel stagnant? Because there's growth and change every time, is happening within you. This name completes the creative activity described above with Ya Khalik and Ya Bari. The individually cut pieces of leather are now sewn together and made into a three-dimensional form. Ya Musafir is the one who brings the whole of you together, not just your body or your soul or just fragments of your desires, everything. That what you feel, that what you see, that what you hear, that what you, and in every moment he is the one watching over you, what it is that you're doing, you're saying, you're behaving, you're listening, you're smelling, all of that. He is the one who makes everything in your body truly work in the three-dimensional form. So he brings all your multi-dimensional being into reality, into manifestation, and every single part of you is actually individually cut with love, with affection, with attention, with intention. He didn't just put things like in a box and go shake it and then, just kind of let whatever gets created. No, no, no. He worked on every single hair follicle in your body, the strength of that hair, what color it comes out, where it comes out, everything. He's the one who is creating everything, and he's constantly creating. So he wants you to really understand that you and me, in comparison, cannot create the way he does. I can't be painting 24/7. I will need a break, right? And so he wants us to know, when he's saying that that is who I am, he also is letting you know that you have a certain capacity of creating something, but it's not going to ever be matched by the creative power that he himself is, right? So it makes us feel very humble, very grateful that, okay, I can create, but I can create maybe 10%, but he can create infinity, no number at all, right? So it makes us recognize our capacity and capability, and we understand that he's the one who is able to work on pieces like me and you as his artwork 24/7. There's no break for him, and he is not going to ever leave us. Like, so for example, I'm working on a sculpture, we're working on a painting. What happens with me is I need to kind of walk away and then come back to it. Most people do that in the creative field. Like, you can't be working on an artwork for too long. Your brain just gets fogged out. So you have to go away and then you come back, and a new image or a new imagination or something sort of comes back up. And so it's so beautiful, but we need a break. We need to kind of shut our brain, think of something else, and then come back. Whereas Allah is constantly thinking of you, how he's molding you, how the pieces are coming together, how do they look. Like, he's constantly, his focus is you and me, like, and every single thing in the creation. So he's never left anything. Everything is being held by him. Allah, subhanallah, like, amazing. Just that feeling is so powerful. Like, wow. Of these three names of creation, Al-Musawwir is the one that moves closest to material objects in the universe, meaning that those existing physical objects, but it doesn't yet fully manifest into the visible, sensible world and the world described by As-Sahir. Al-Musawwir continuously, increasingly goes towards that final manifestation. Nevertheless, the individuation process has been completed, and the infinite is given a finite shape. Something that was infinite is given a finite shape, in just the way as it is said in the scriptures that Adam is created in God's own image and likeness. This is one of those beautiful concepts that says we have the essence of Allah. We're not God, but we have the essence of God. He is within us. So if he is 100 names, I usually tell myself that I only have one name, right? He has 100 names, meaning he has 100 attributes, and I just have one identity of that, who I am. That's pretty much it. So you can understand through that symbolically where you stand and where he is. And of course you love him, and you kind of say, wow, he created me, and you have self-worth in yourself, but you also recognize where you stand when compared I mean, there is no comparison, but I'm just saying symbolically, you understand through that numerological value that he has 100 names and I just have one, right? And sometimes my name doesn't even define me, but his attributes are his name. He is who he is. There's no like he is Musawwir and then he will be something else. No, he is what he is. He says what he is. It's not like me, you know. I say something, do something, believe something, pretend something. Like, not, he doesn't have that many faces like we do. We change, we shift. He says, this is who I am and that is who he is. And you know, I could be saying, oh, I'm very kind, but I'm kind to so and so, but I'm not very kind to the other person. Whereas he is kind to the whole of the universe, not just humanity, to every single creation on the planet. Just to give you a little bit of perspective of Ya Musawwir, I'll read Ya Khalik and Ya Bari also before I do the piece. Ya Khalik is the only one who creates. It is the active dynamic source of creation and the continuous activity of creation. There is no beginning to it and no end, nor any rest in the middle. Every moment reveals Al Khalik in action as well as the fruits of the action. So it's not just what he is creating, it's the effects of that molding, that putting you in place. How does that affect the internal structure of that material, of your clay? Even that is always being created and changing. So you could feel a certain way by some experience in one time, and then 2 days later you'll be in a different phase of your life, and then suddenly you'll feel completely differently about that. So at one point you'll be really angry, and then 2 days later same thing happens, you'll be like, okay, okay. So he's not only working on the experiences that are coming towards you and on making you behave a certain way, but he's also working in the way that you feel inside you based on that experience, inshallah. A variation of Al Khaliq's root means to measure a piece of leather or any material and see that it is beautifully proportioned in design before cutting it and sewing the pieces together. This is that moment when you go to the shop and there's this fabric which you love. You look at the print, you look at the material, you touch it, you look at the fall, you're like, okay, this garment will look nice in this. So you're literally, what Allah is trying to say is that the fabric that you are created, meaning your skin, the things inside you, they all also have a skin. So your liver, the skin of your liver, the skin of your intestine, the skin of everything within you is also created with complete and utmost attention, right? It's not just created for the sake of being created. Every single thing is individually created, and then he imagines the different possibilities of what that fabric could be used as, and the possibilities that he sees you as are the bestest of the best, because that's what he sees you being created through that fabric in the most bestest of ways. Prior to anything being made, Al Khalik is the one who imagines all possibilities. So he imagines you as a doctor, as a teacher, as a dancer, as a swimmer, as a chef, whatever the possibilities are. He imagines it even before the fabric is cut to whatever it needs to be cut to. It is in the innate disposition It is the innate disposition of God to imagine the universe. Metaphorically, it's like imagining all the possible letters that might be written from the ink in a bottle. I just love this idea. I just love this idea that Allah has already imagined what I will be used for in this world. Before I even exist, He knows what the ink color will be in me, and what experiences I will have, and what will be the ones that will be making me, and what will I be used for, how many alphabets will I be able to create in my lifetime. All of this is already in the ink that is in the bottle, which is within me. Al Khalik is reflected in human beings, and as a consequence, we have the innate ability to imagine the beloved. See Ya Bari and Ya Musawwir for further for further express divine creation, as well as Ya Mubdi and Ya Mu'id. So I'm going to read Ya Bari for you. Al-Bari is the originator of individuation. I hope I'm saying that right. Continuing with the metaphor of leather working mentioned above, Al-Bari would be the act of cutting out the individual pieces of the design that had been measured on the leather. While it is being of individuation, nevertheless, it still remains in the condition of creation before physical manifestation. Al-Bari defines the realm called Jabarut, where we find the origination of divine names. It is how they exist. They are still not manifested in physical form, but they are individuated as potentialities. What God creates is well proportioned in a manner free from inconsistencies, faults, blemishes, defects, and imperfection. You see, when Allah creates an artwork, a creation, meaning you, the lion, whatever, platypus, whatever Allah creates, is in the right proportion. So many times we look at ourselves in the mirror and we're constantly judging Allah's creation by saying, oh, I'm so dark, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly, look at my nails are not that great, I'm so hairy, I'm not I'm not pretty, whatever it is that we see ourselves as. And we're constantly not only judging ourselves, but then we judge other people also. And Allah is telling you that I am Ya Bari. I am the one who created everybody individually. So everybody created through Allah, by Allah, are free from inconsistencies. They're free from faults. They don't have defects and they don't have blemishes, and they are and free of imperfection. They are actually the way He wants them to be. You are exactly the way Allah wants you to be, but it is you who judges Allah's creation. So when you look at yourself in the mirror next time, remind yourself you are not that person that you see. You are that person that Allah created when He calls Himself Ya Bari. He created you free from inconsistencies, free from any faults, free from defects and blemishes and imperfections. That's how Ya Bari creates, because you see, He's letting you know that's the kind of creation He does, which doesn't need to be like, fixed or anything. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't have faults. You just go through life learning different things, making mistakes, but getting back up again. That's just the nature that you are born with. And that's a beautiful way, because you keep standing up, you keep coming back to Him. The nature of Al-Bari is to make the universe like that. On a personal level, it can mean to free yourself from any unclean thing, to become free from guilt, and to become pure soul. This reminds me that I actually have a session on my Patreon which you can heal from guilt along with grief, because that's something that our heart holds at times. And if that's something you want to do, the session is, I think, available in my shop, so you can check it out. But to become a pure soul, you have to let go of the things that you carry from this dunya. So you really have to become guilt free, and you have to purify your soul and free yourself from any unclean emotions that you carry. The healing aspect of Al-Bari, to remove or free oneself from disease. This is such a beautiful name, Ya Bari, because it really truly helps you remove negativity from within you, right? So when it says to remove or free oneself from disease, it's the disease of the heart, of the soul, of what's making you heavy. It is also an important part of the meaning of this divine name. So when you connect Ya Khalik, Ya Musawwir, Ya Bari, you're calling upon yourself to be recreated in a most beautiful way. So if you're in a phase of your journey where you have come to shift into a new you, then these are the three names. When you repeatedly connect to, they will help you smoothly create your life in a more peaceful manner. Now I'm going to work on my grid today, and this is something that I have on my Patreon that you can download and print, and then work from it. Now, when Allah says, I'm creating you continuously, when you look at the lines, there is no stopping. There is this flow. Everything is connected. So if this was dunya, if this was what you were given, this was all about our masculine energy, things that we do in this world, things that we accumulate, knowledge, money, family, whatever it is. But this is our feminine energy. You see, the feminine energy is so beautifully sitting inside the heart of the masculine energy. And here it feels safe, it feels held, it feels seen, like it also looks like an eye, right? And it's so important to understand that when this is in balance, when your actions are connected to your heart, meaning your mind is connected to your heart, automatically there'll be a rhythm in your life that will be very similar to what you see. Now, this is the kind of life that we all generally, hopefully, is what we try to live, right? And we aim to live this life. Now, when we think about this is what we have been given. Now I'm going to take you into like a 5-10 minute meditation, a real quick one, to connect you to your soul and allow you to be a creative being connected to that what you feel within yourself. So just sit back, relax your shoulders, and bring yourselves into the present moment, and take a nice deep breath in. Try to be as slow as you can, just to relax yourselves. Just connect to your breath with your eyes closed. Put your hand on your heart. Just try to be still, to be present. Just bring yourself back home into your being. There's nowhere you need to be. There's nowhere you have to be. There's no one who needs you right now in this very moment other than yourself. Just focus on your hand where it's touching your heart. Let the energy flow within your body. Allow yourself to just be. And notice that when you are just being, the Khalik, our Malik, the Musawwir, he's working on, like your kidneys are working, the blood is flowing in your body. Everything in your body is still working. It's still in the process of being created, of evolving, of moving. Just be still with yourself. Bring all your awareness and attention on that space that is between your heart and your hand. Go into your heart as deep as you can and see if there's an animal that comes up. Just an image of an animal, whatever it may be. Try not to force it. Allow it to just be. Don't judge what's coming, but let that what needs to and wants to come through you come into your heart. Notice the color of the animal. Notice its surroundings. Notice the attribute that this animal has that you absolutely admire. Allow this animal to be your teacher, your guide, your healer. Allow yourself to be in the same space as this animal. Visualize yourself standing in front of this animal, and this animal is walking towards you. As it's coming towards you, allow it to merge in your being. This is your teacher. It's going to teach you that very particular attribute that you admire and you want to be. Just hold yourself in that space of being that animal, becoming one with it. It's going to teach you in the next week or so of how to take care of yourself, be inspired by it. It's going to teach you all the lessons that you need to learn for your soul's evolution, for it is your teacher, your healer, your guide. It is your friend. It is who is with you, who is in you. Look at the colors, the skin. Notice how it walks, sits, stands, smiles. Notice what it feels when it's sleeping, when it's fighting. Imagine him in different scenarios. Become one with this animal and allow its beauty to be your friend, your guide, your inspiration. The colors to help you create, to see it more beautified. Just hold yourself in that space of being with this animal. Just relax yourselves, relax your shoulders, and slowly open your eyes, taking a nice deep breath in and coming into the present moment. Ya Musawwir wants us to know that you've been given this life where you've been told that this is how you're meant to live. But at different phases of our life, we need to connect to different sources, different teachers. Like you go from one class to the next, and you need to learn new things. So you can't be stuck in just being one thing. You can't be in year 5 and stay in year 5 for the rest of your life. You need to move forward to the next stage of your life. And for the next 1 week, this animal is going to be your guide, which is going to help you. I just saw 101, meaning the journey has begun for you to connect to this animal. Now, it's a choice how you want to create the grid. If you want to keep the grid, brilliant. If you don't want to keep the grid, that's fine too. It's up to you who and what you want to think about it. As always, I would like to say that in the outside border, if you can write the names of Allah, which is Ya Musawwir, Ya Bari, and Ya Khalik. That is something that you do with your hands, and you just kind of just connect your hands to the energy of the words and allow them to literally seep through your being and give you the strength to create a life that is original, that to constantly be working on yourself and never ever giving up, not getting defined by other people, not letting this dunya define you and your path, allowing yourself to be liberated and be free in whatever it is that you are here to do. Not judge your animal, rather love it. Love it with all your heart. Connect to it and be appreciative of your Allah showing you and creating this animal specifically just for you to help you move to the next stage of your evolution. This exercise is not about being inspired by the outside. It's something that you are being guided by the inside. Your heart knows exactly what you need. And this animal is what you get guided to. And so this animal helps you connect to that part of yourself that you need healing for. That's the inspiration. It's coming into your life to show you what it is that you need to change, how it is that you can move forward, and how, holding its hand, you're able to create a life of stability, of abundance, of love. I will be working on this piece in my session that I will be sharing for my sacred strokes. So you can actually go on to checking that. I'll see if I can share a link down below to it, but if it's not there, there's a playlist called Sacred Strokes. You can see what animal came through for me and have a look at it. I would absolutely love you to leave a comment, connect with me, share, like, and subscribe to my channel, and help me spread Allah's light as far and wide as I can into many, many people's hearts, hopefully, inshallah. These sessions, NAQSH or NAQSH al RUH, are very sacred to me. I use these grids, and sometimes people think they're just like adult coloring, but they completely are not what you think of them as. They're not what you see, they are what you feel. And when you go through a session connected with Allah and see these grids transform into something completely different, they're like little messages that come through when you work on them. When creating these grids, I actually sat in meditation and I asked Allah Mia to guide me in creating these pieces which will help me and my fellow companions to feel more grounded and to always be in high vibration. So, whenever you work on these grids, you'll always feel a certain energy that will be uplifting, grounding, and bringing you into complete presence. The presence of Allah, presence of yourself. So if you want to download them, you can from my Patreon. They're very, very powerful grids, so I hope you use them wisely. They will always have an impact if you do them, of course, with the session or even on their own. They are very, very beautiful, and each one brings a different kind of emotion and heals us in a way like which is magic, inshallah ta'ala. Today's word that I got for this session was Moajza. You are a miracle. You are the miracle that Allah created, and within you, He has placed a talent, a dream, something that you are here to expand and explore in the way that Allah wants you to. So don't be too scared of what you're here to do, for He will guide you at every step. He knows the path, and He is your creator. He's working on you 24/7, so you're never ever alone. So allow the shifts to happen, allow your emotions to come up. If anger comes up, let it be. So when you are taking in these sessions, they will bring up something. And if you feel you need any kind of guidance or being held, or you want to go into an inner child healing, or how can you do father wound healing or mother wounding, if any of that sort of thing, or generational curses that you want to like sort of break the chains free from, develop a more lim- liberated mindset to live a life where you can create your life rather than submitting to that what you know of, and being in flow, being present, being more your authentic self rather than always trying to pretend and act to be something else. So if that's a journey you'd like to take, I do offer one-to-one sessions. You can message me, connect through my social media, and I'd be more than happy to be your companion to go towards your light, inshallah ta'ala. So if you're leaving this year, great. I hope you are able to create inspired by the animal. You can either use this grid to color it in, but like I said, I will be sharing it in my just literally, it's a playlist. If you go to the sacred strokes, you'll be able to see day 6, and you'll be able to see how and what I do with my grid, inshallah ta'ala. So I usually try not to share that in this one, especially because the reason I'm not working on it and just sharing the insights of Ya Musawwir for NAQSH today is the simple fact that creativity is very personal. how you choose to use this grid is going to be something that comes to you. And if I show you in this session, it might influence you, or it might become a way of seeing me and then doing that. And for me to empower you into your creative being, to connect you to your Musafir, I have to hold myself and allow you to use this grid as it is, and maybe bring in the elements like the colors of the animal that you saw, or the feathers of the animal that you saw, or you could create a bird flying with its wings open, like that, or it could be a butterfly. I don't know what animals you get, but that sort of thing. If it's a lion, you can draw the lines and create the hair. If it is a snake or a tiger or something, that you can use the strips. So basically the idea is that the animal that you have is your guide. This grid is just there for you to remember that you are existing in this world, but you're allowed and you're able to, and you have the capability and the capacity to create on top of this grid that what you're being guided to through your internal journey, internal being. Not what you've been told what to draw, but rather that what you're being guided to from inside your heart. And it's so powerful that you're not doing what I'm asking you to do, you're doing that what you're being told to do from your soul. And through these activities you actually really activate your connection with your Allah and with your soul. And it's a very different life living from your soul. And it's very empowering, it's very liberating, it's really fun. And it's just something I, having gone through working out how to do it, that's something that I teach through my sessions. So if you want to join my Friday sessions, you're most welcome to. They're inspired by the Quran, the ayat of the Quran. You can. It's 11 o'clock 11 a.m. UK time every Friday through Zoom. So you can send me a message and I'll send you the details for it. I just saw 111. Alhamdulillah, Allah is with us and He's guiding us through our journey, inshallah ta'ala. So if you're leaving me here, then I just want to wish you the best Ramzan and Rosa, and I'll see you in the next NAQSH sessions, which happen on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursdays. I hope you create a beautiful piece. If you do, please tag it, share it on your social media, and do let me know your thoughts in the comments, because when you leave a comment for me, you give me energy to keep going, encouraging me towards sharing whatever it is that I'm here to share with you all, alhamdulillah. So, and keep me in your du'as. I'm sending you lots of love, light and peace, inshallah, and I'll see you soon. Allah Hafiz.